I'm just doing this thing live. I am enjoying the difference between the live. I recognize there is a difference more than just the recording or the timing and stuff or the response area. Because I see with the live is a response area. I can see immediate response. If someone has a question or answer or some statement, please make it. I can respond to it. Look on the live or whatever, the whole thing is, yeah, you see the thing. Even niggas don't like niggas. That's the biggest problem. The other people don't really matter. If you don't like me, that's not a problem. When I don't like myself, that's a problem. You get me? So that's why I say for niggas don't like niggas, that problem is it's internal, not external. External is the effect of the cause, which is internal. The cause is internal. The effect is external, and it looks like this and it looks like that. But what caused it is internal. That, when you don't like yourself, others are not much to like you. They might pity you. They might, that kind of thing. But you gotta like yourself. Something about yourself. Once you like yourself, you're good to. Like, okay, I watch people who did. Damn, I'm on live. Huh? Oh yeah, but it's gonna repeat on the YouTube. The people who are the people who are going into the neighborhoods where we are kept. We're kept in neighborhoods. Yeah, come on, man. When you speak really about what's going on, it's easier to get to the solution. I mean, to get to what you want out of the thing. I say solution like there's a problem, but there's not a problem. It's just not an understanding. So once you understand how this stuff works, I mean, it's simple. It's so simple, most people, oh, that can't be it. That's too damn simple. I like that part. Life is simple. Babies do it, remember? Babies can't read, write, or talk no language as far as you know. When they do it, they be living. They be smiling and happy. They have dreams and stuff. What you think they? Come on, man. Babies do it. This thing can't be that complicated. Babies do it. And everything is set up. Everything is set up. Everything is set up for us to exist. When you were born, everything you needed to exist came with you at that same moment. It arrived. Someone might have usurped it from you, or someone gave it away, or whatever have you, because, a lot of the first thing that happens in the usurpation, it's a relinquishment and a usurpation at the same time. Like a big, strong guy with 18 guns or something come and put them to your head and say, give me something. And so that's the usurpation. But you have to give it to him. That's the relinquishment. You can say, hey man, fuck you, your 18 guns, your big ass, whatever the fuck. I ain't giving you nothing. And guess what? He can't get it. It's just that simple. See how beautiful life is. Life is so beautiful, man. Y'all be discarding the beauty of life. I don't understand that. How you discard the beauty of life? I know they told you, oh, no one's perfect in the eyes of God. Who is this God dude? I keep asking y'all that. Who is this God dude, man? No one's perfect. He's not even perfect. He messed up 3, 4, 5 times. Got people in floods and stuff. So I mean, of course, no one's perfect in that guy's eyes. He ain't even perfect. Listen, people say, well, no one's perfect. That's because they on that trip. Right? The trip is the thing I'm talking about, which is the lie. I mean, not the lie, but not speaking the truth. The truth is we're all perfect. That's impossible for you not to be perfect. The mantra, because I made two mantras. One of them, I'll repeat both of them. There are two mantras. Repeat them 100 times a day, just all the time in your mind. Just keep repeating these mantras. You don't need to think about nothing. All that stuff you're thinking about is useless. Yeah, it's all useless. Repeat these mantras to your mind. Give your mind something to soak in and take on. Here's one. I am perfect. Perfectly me. No one can be me more perfectly. I am perfect. See? And it's the truth all the way to the end result. It's the truth all the way throughout the cosmos. This is power. This is why I keep saying speak truth. Truth is power. Fuck what you heard. Truth is power. Knowledge, that's nice. Truth is power. Oh, I don't know that. So what now? You're powerless? That's stupid. You don't know something, so now you're powerless. See how stupid that is to say, to even consider that knowledge is power? That keeps you in a thing to seeking knowledge. I got to seek this knowledge. No, 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 no. Truth is power. That's where the power is, in truth. Not in all these other things that fucking. And let me tell you something. Okay, hold on, half a minute. I am perfect. This is mantra number 2. I'll repeat mantra number 1 because I want you to get it, right? I don't want you to write it down. It's only 4 lines. 1 line. I am perfect. Must start there. Without that line, you're done. Close the book, go home, go, whatever you're going to do, live your days out and die and be whatever the garbage the rest of the story. If you want to live a good life, if you want to live a happy life, if you want to live a fulfilling life that fills your heart, be perfect. I am perfect. Created perfect by a perfect creator who creates everything perfectly. I am perfect. This is the next mantra. I'll repeat them both. I am perfect, created perfect by a perfect creator who creates everything. Did you hear me? Who creates. Not who created, who creates. Because the creator is just like a bus driver. A bus driver drives buses. A creator creates. There's no retirement for the creator. The creator creates. The creator is creating this moment. Everything is being in. The creator is busy now. Always. There ain't no time in creation. There's always just now, and the creator is busy creating. Your mind can't conceive it, that's okay. It don't have to. That's why I like Reverend Ike. Ike say, do this thing, he be telling you this little technique. And he said, well, how does it work? He said, you don't need to know how it works. You don't know how the radio work, but you turn it on. You don't know how the telephone work, but you don't know nothing about internet, but you deal with it every day. See? This is what's up. Truth, man, just pure truth. Just run with that and you're in there. Now I'm going to tell you something else. Because it's, okay, niggas don't like niggas. I say, you know what? That's true. We've lost our world. We don't have a world anymore. We're in someone else's world. It's all a part of relinquishment. You just relinquish everything. We don't have our own neighborhoods anymore. I watched people in the little neighborhood I was in. I moved into it for to see what happens. And there were 4 or 5 stores within 5 minutes of walking distance from the spot. And I walked to all of them, see who they were. 2 of them were Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, and uh, 2 of them were Asians. I just say Asians. I know they were Korean, but I'm just saying 2 of them were Korean, and the other one was a colored guy. I don't know where he was from, but he was a nigger. That nigga went out of business because nobody went to his business. They didn't like the way he talked. They didn't like the way he moved. They didn't like the atmosphere in his place, whatever it was. He was the only one that went out of business. Everybody else started opening more business, started redoing the rest of their stuff and opening up better and all that stuff. I would frequent him. And I didn't see what the people's argument, because I asked people around, because see, I talk to people. I asked them, well, why y'all don't go, I don't like it. So I found out. They go and play in front of them Koreans. And just before I left, some Arabs had opened up a place. And the niggas go there and perform in front of them people. That's what they be doing, performing. They pay to perform. I've watched it. Niggas perform in front of them people. You watched it too. Go do it. You probably do it. And it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, realize that's what you do. You go in front of them and perform. See, and this, what? Oh, you're doing, you see it all the time. I see it all the time. I even see it all the time. Niggas can't perform in front of each other. They gotta be real, because I go to a place where niggas are, and they being real. Pretty soon there's a problem. Almost immediately there's a problem. But they go around them other people and perform. There's no problem. Unless them other people say, nigga, get the fuck out of here. I ain't trying to see your performance today. Oh, you don't like me? See what I mean? You perform. The bell rings and you go put this over in that pile. The next bell ring, you go put it in that pile. You're a performance animal. Working on reactionary, external input. Let me tell you something else too, because I don't want to get too far away. I am a strong advocate of reefer. From a cultural point of view, I see it. We smoke weed. I watch it all over the world, actually. We smoke weed. I go in a lot of places and I don't see those people that they drink alcohol. Some people, that's what they do. Some people have been led to believe that's what they do, especially among the niggas. And I call everybody niggas. Fuck you, that. Don't even try me with that. I'm done. If that's a problem, run with that problem, because I ain't running with it, right? So now look at this. I say colored people sometimes too, because I mean colored people when I say niggas. Everybody ain't gotta be like. I think people say niggas, they think in terms of like African concept. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about colored people. Because I've been to not a lot, I've been to several countries. Enough to realize, oh, here we go. I got this thing here. You'll find this interesting. I did. In ancient Japan, I say ancient Japan, it's only like some 100 years ago. That's not real ancient. That's like, what, 10, 12 generations ago. Okay. In Japan, there were cities with these 3 names. I got them all right here. I wrote them down because I thought it was very interesting. One is called Edo. It was spelled Edo, Edo. That city is Edo. I think Edo is now called Kyoto. But the original name was Edo, E-D-O. This next one here I'm about to tell you about is Kano. K-A-N-O. Kano. Kano. You might recognize these places as existing today in a whole nother hemisphere. And around in a cluster, just like they did on that little island. It's a little island compared to the continents of Japan. I've seen bigger islands, as they call them, island, piece of land. That's Kano. Kano. I think Kano is now called Tokyo. Next one is Ando. Ondo. Ando. If those names are familiar to you, and they probably are to some people who will see this, if those names are familiar to you, it's because right there's a place called Nigeria, and all three of those places exist there currently. Uh, Tokyo, Kyoto, and there's another one. It's Tokyo, Kyoto, and forget the next one. But you could always check it. Look up the whole name and just Google this stuff. At this point, once you have, see, that's the thing about information. Once you have a certain amount of knowledge, information you can separate and get. And I'm telling you where to look, right? A guidepost, which way to look. That's all. A teacher's supposed to tell you which way to look, not what to see. That's your thing. That's your perspective. What you see. I have no idea what people see. Like right now, I'm talking on this in front of this thing here. I have no idea what people see. None. I know what I see. But people don't see the same thing. And some people are colorblind. Some people have no left eye and stuff. You know what I mean? Distance. They one-eyed with that distance. I don't know. So anyway, I wanted to bring up those things about the cities in Japan that now exist. They used to exist in Japan. There are movies about it. There's a movie, this is where I started getting it from. There's a movie, not a movie, there was a series that came out in the 80s called Itchy, 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 Itchy the Blind Man. Where apparently during that time, a lot of people were blind in Japan. And when they were, it's just like some places you go, there's certain deficiencies because they ate rice a lot. Rice will cause a high amount of blindness in a population. White rice, excuse me, will cause a high amount of blindness in a population. Also, weak bones. It's called crickets. Rickets. It's called rickets. A high amount of white rice, white food, period, like white starch food, white sugar. All of that will cause a certain amount of breakdown in the bone, so it cause rickets. So a lot of the people who were blind, and they were almost invariably referred to as itchy. One, and they would hang out with each other, except a few of them would be by themselves once they managed the blindness and without apology and just took it. And one of those was about Itchy and his travels through the Japan at that time. Messing with samurai. This post-samurai heyday, because anyway, you have to read the historical thing. But doing those movies, if and you can find this on YouTube, is the reason I'm telling you. Itchy, the Blind Man, and it's a series. It's over 20 series. I watch them all. Sometimes I watch them again. I've watched some of them 3, 4, 5 times because I like Itchy. You know, but it's a lot of history in there. A lot of history in there. So I'm suggesting that if you want to, you can look through that and find out other things and research other things as you see fit. Right? I'm just telling you where to look. So please look there and see what's there. Because I was on an island, one of the so-called Japanese islands, and the people there are called Ryukyu. They're Indians. And people always asking me, "Are you African?" And I be saying, all these, none of them are our words, so I'm not none of that stuff. But if I was something, then I would be a West Indian because that's where I am and my people are. West Indies, they call this area at some given time. Wherever that word come from, it's no more descriptive of what I am than the word African, which is a corporate word of, and all them words. It's just English crapola. I seen a thing. It's a word called acronym or something. I'll find it and put up a whole video on it. Acronym, where it's a name. It means a word or a name or a description that someone puts on you, and it becomes who you are to the world. The world is willing to accept you for that, even though it's not the name you put. Like India, the Indians didn't put that name on the place we call India, that continent. Even they call it. The Indians didn't put that name on it. They have another name for it, Ragu, or I forget. It's two syllables, but that's their thing. It was Hindustan, and the British said no, we want that to be India, and people started calling it India. And now they calling it India. Like, people call that continent the United States. It's not. The United States is that's not. But see, people agree with that, and then there you go. So that's the corporate fiction of the thing that I be talking about all the time about corporate fiction. Anytime we go into fiction, they've incorporated fiction. It's a corpse. It's a dead thing. It's not a live thing. It's a dead thing. Then, I got another concept I want to get to while I'm on this live thing because it gives me more time and everything. Because I'm separating it in concepts. I don't need that. I did the concept of this right now. We need to understand where are our people. And you see how I use the term niggers, colored people. That's what I mean. When I say where are our people, I'm saying where are our people who have soul, who have uh, that selfness internal that's ruling their life and they're not being ruled by their mind. Those are our people. Once people are being is being ruled by their mind, they're in trouble. They can't, anybody can, mental influence, all kind of things on the outside will influence the mind. The mind is supposed to take over. That's like your baby running the house. When the baby runs the house, it can't do well. Things can't go well. The mind is new. It just got here. The spirit, the self, the soul is old. It's been traveling universes for eons. It's part of the great I am, which is all you need to be, is your you. That's all you need to be. You don't need to be a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. You don't need to be employed, unemployed, with money, without. None of that stuff matters. The most important thing that matters is that you be you and don't allow your mind to take over. Once your mind takes over, you're in trouble. There's a book I recommend. Ooh, I thought it was so beautiful because in there they give exercise in this book. It's called the Master Key, the Master, Master Key. There are two. One is the Master Key. The other is the Master Key System. The master key system is by a dude named Hanel. It's very cut and dry, systematic. It's kind of like Germanesque in its approach. The master key, which is the first one I was introduced to, and I really like it actually. I like the style of the writer. He's De Lawrence, and I guess De Lawrence, the way they put it, is kind of like romantic names. So maybe he's French or something. I don't know. But he's more flourishing with his words and ideas and all that kind of stuff. And he's wider than Hernal. Hernal is very strict and straight to the point, and he got that stuff ready for you. If you kind of you're the person that learned from strict and straight to the point, read the Hernal version. If you're the person that likes all the flowers and the colorful language and the ideas and all that stuff, then read the Lawrence version. Let me tell you something about the Lawrence version. Google on the internet and ask the internet what is illegal to import into Jamaica. Do that now, man. You got the facilitation. Google on there and say what's the thing that you cannot import to Jamaica. Just Google that. Just Google it. Put it in your Google thing. I want everybody to put it in their Google thing. Jamaica say this particular thing is you can't bring this to Jamaica. And then guess what it is? The Master Key by DeLawrence. Because it teaches, I ain't going to say why. I don't know why they got it illegal, but it teaches mind control. And in it, and this is where I learned this trick, because DeLawrence got tricks. I like tricks, because you have to psych your mind out. Well, I have to psych my mind out. Yeah, I play tricks on my mind. And shoot, I ain't gonna let my mind play tricks on me. Your mind ever played tricks on you? So I play tricks on my mind. And that way I get it to do what I want it to do. Because, see, I'm the one that's running this show. So I play tricks on my mind. One trick, DeLawrence states in his book, kind of deep, and it's a 300-400 page book. I forget how long. DeLawrence is the longest. Oh, both of these books are downloadable for free PDF. Both of these books are downloadable for free PDF. All you have to do is Google it, download it, read it. If you can't, if you're so lazy you can't do that, go ahead and be a slave the rest of your life. Because that's what slave means. One who is so lazy that he depends on another for his existence. That's the true definition of a slave. You think you can't make nobody no slave? The slave has to relinquish something. Like the guy said, oh, if you don't do this, I'll kill your daughter. And then you do it. And you say, but he made me do it. He threatened you. He didn't even kill your daughter. He threatened you. Threat is a matter of like fear. It's a fear factor. Threatened. You threatened me. Some guy used to threaten me often, man. And I had that fear factor, so I'm talking about with another fear factor, man. I was scared like that. And at first I was like, can't we all just be happy and stuff? What's all this madness? That reminds me of the queen, what's her name? Not Nabingi, what's her name? Makeda, the one they call the Queen of Sheba. She had went to go visit some barbarian named Solomon. He was out causing havoc in the neighborhood, like his father, attacking people and all that stuff. And innocent people, you just ride around on them and kill them off and take their shit. A true barbarian, a true fucking piece of shit. And then Solomon was raised up just like him, and he was doing that. So this queen of Sheba, they call her, the Queen of Sheba, Magda, she went to stop by to visit him. And her thought was simple, like mine was when I was a child. She said, well, maybe he's doing all this warfare and killing and all this stuff like that because he wants something, attacking all these people. That's why he wants something. So she took him a lot of something. Their caravan took to Solomon and his people more riches. They even said themselves in their little book, more riches than they had ever imagined existed. And she gave them that as a gift. She gave them that more than they fuck what they had and all that. More than they ever could imagine existed. She gave them that as a gift. And what did Solomon do, of course? He raped her. They call it date rape. He's oversalted her food so that she would want water. When she got the water, he had her arrested for theft. And she said, well, you told me I can have anything in your kingdom. And he said, I told you if you ask for it. Now, when the so-called theft happened, he knew she had wanted water, so he set it right by her bedroom door where she was being kept. She walked out to call a servant to get her some water, and the water was right there. She said, oh, Solomon might do be worth something. He was on his best behavior until she realized, she said, oh, this motherfucker, it's a setup, a date rape. Salted my food. Now I want water. I get the water. He put it right here. And then he on some technicality to my, I said, if you asked for it, you could have anything in my house. You didn't ask for the water, did you? So you got to let me fuck you. And so that's how they came about. She was not in, she left before she said, I read the book of Magda. Fuck the book of Solomon. You know what I mean? Fuck it with your own dick. Not my dick. Fuck the book of, so fuck Solomon too. Fuck all that shit. Fucking motherfucking mother. Listen, man, him and his father was going around raiding people. Peaceful people have their own little village doing things. That's how they did us right there in the U.S. Coming and raiding our towns and shit. And get the fuck out of here. Fuck him. They tell you who they are and you start thinking you are them. Bitch, they did that to you. And so the queen went and said, well, maybe he needs some things. I'll just give it to him. And that's how I used to think when I was a youth. Can't we all just get along? Here, man, have this. Calm the fuck down. And then he calmed down and we all get along. But no. When he saw all that stuff she brought, oh, no. He wanted more. Because it ain't about the stuff. It's about the internality of the people. They are killers. They kill shit. You know the stories of the 3-year-old or whatever boy just cutting up all kind of animals. Oh yeah, he killing everything. They kill shit. What's that boy name? Donald Jack off Trump. The J is for jack off. Donald Jack off Trump. His son is a killer. He just walks around. He's been all over Africa killing shit. You don't think he hunted niggas? He's all the way in Africa and he ain't hunting niggas. And it's everybody know it's a high-end sport in South Africa to hunt niggas, nigga. If you don't know that, then I don't know what kind of nigga you is. You some kind of new nigga. It's a high-end sport and everybody knows it. This ain't new and it ain't old. It's what they do. Get the fuck out of here. Now people sucking on Donald Trump's dick after his son. Man. And Donald Trump, hey, I don't, that's why I don't fuck with politics or current events. It's all bullshit. So I'm saying, where are our people? We keep hooking up with this and that And the next thing you know, they got us on some, what's the name of that shit? LGBTQ. Where are our people? Some people are ADOS and some people are talking about reparations. You know how long reparations has been an issue among our people, just crying and begging the cracker for something. Y'all still doing that? I'm gonna tell you how I figured this shit out. Cause I'm kind of simple, you know. I'm real simple. Okay, I'm real simple. A bully on a high school school ground or whatever, you find a bully, and he takes the kid's money. The bully, another child, but he's a bully, and he takes the kid's money because I've been bullied and people they took my money. And the next day you go and say, "Man, give me my money back," and then he gonna take your money that day too. Now he took all your money. Whether he beats you up and take it or whatever, threaten you and take it. Now, at no time, I can assure you, is that bully going to give you your money back from just your entreaties. If you don't get a higher authority, he going to take you again until you either stop him or come with a higher authority to stop him. And your higher authority to stop him must not be him. Because he ain't going to stop. He's doing his thing. Shit, he's glad you begging. That makes it easier. Because he know you ain't putting up no resistance. Because you begging. Mhm. I always say the best thing to do. When I found out the best thing to do, I never asked. I never begged. I just looked at him. And the whole time I was building my physical form up enough to kill him. I'm going to hit him, hurt him, and I'll get in decease his ass. He stopped fucking with me for some reason. Started fucking with other people. I hadn't even finished my thing because I was building myself up, bodily to kill him. I decided. When you decide that you're not taking it no more, that you're gonna do something about it, you don't beg, you don't petition, you petition it. You don't ask for nothing. It's in you. Whatever you need is in you. It's always been in you. You are perfect. You are perfect, created perfect by a perfect creator. Not no bullshit, book God bullshit, but by a perfect creator who creates everything perfectly. Right now is perfect. Right now is a perfect time for everything. It's perfect. Once you see, listen, a little brother, I was at a reasoning. We had reasonings for a while till I realized that the environment of the reasoning was making me ill. Because people smoke tobacco, and I'm allergic to tobacco. It actually makes me ill. I used to smoke tobacco too, until it almost killed me. I didn't even realize what was going on, and it almost killed me one night. And I realized it's the tobacco that's killing me. I haven't smoked tobacco since. But I was at a reasoning, and the brother said to me, he said to the reasoning, he said, you know what? As he spoke after I had spoke, so I said to me, he spoke to the reasoning. He said, when a person, it's from the inside already, the person has made a decision about life. When a person has made a decision about life that life is miserable and imperfect, everything that comes upon them will be miserable. That's how they're going to see it. That's their perspective. Misery, unpleasant, because that's how they've already set their sights. That's how they see themselves. That's how they see life, miserable. I don't want to come back here. I hear people saying that. I don't want to come back here. This is training ground. This is just a test. This is a test. Okay. You get past this and go on to the next thing where you'll be more happy because they're not happy here. The test is to be happy here. That is the test, to be happy now. Whatever that now is, 10 minutes from now, 15 seconds from now, be happy all the time. The best way to be happy all the time is the truth all the time. Most of that unhappiness is coming from your relinquished. See? Okay. We are part of the creation. Most people, somewhere in their mind, they understand that, but then they think they are not. They think they're outside of the creation, and the creation was created for them, and they are not in the creation as part of the creation. I don't know how they work that out, but I see that it's a mental thing because the mind does all that crazy stuff. That's why you have to let the mind go. The mind is okay. I turn my computer off when I go to bed, though. But I mean, the mind is like a computer. It works. It can do all them calculations, and I can Google this and find out information. All that shit I do with my mind. And then when I don't need no information and I really want to get into where I'm going, then I do that stuff right there. Uh-uh. I set the mind over to the side, like I got it now, over to the side. Right? So, okay. Now, what happens? In this book I was telling you about, The Master Key by Lawrence, in order to separate the mind from the self, there's a simple trick. Count silently. You can have your eyes open, shut, it don't really matter. Count silently. I'm trying to stay focused. Count silently to 100. Tell your mind to count silently to 100. It's almost impossible for some people. Some people do it right away. I like you people who do it right away. That shows me that you are almost there where you need to be, because the thing that happens is I've actually seen a person's mind do the calculations. When you tell your mind to count to 100, more than likely it's not going to do it. Be like, who are you? Fuck you. I ain't doing what you say, dude. And you say, no, God, kind of. Now the thing is, when you lose count, because your mind gonna start talking to you and trying to do other things besides counting to 100. It's inevitable. Uh, Even if you make it to the 100 on your own the very first time, you hear the chatter. You just bore through it, which is good. You know how to bore through the chatter of the mind, right? The mental chatter of that. Let that shit go. It's just unimportant. Unless you ask for the answer, it's just noise. Just like on your computer, YouTube, it's just what they call the algorithms talking. It ain't got nothing to do with what you want. It's just they say, oh, you looking for this? No, here's something else like that. You ask about a boat, it'll tell you about airplanes, any kind of thing, because it's just chatter. It's just chatter. That's what the mind is. Chatter, 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 chatter. It's just chatter. They just pay attention when you ask it for something, and it'll give you the answer, and then it'll go back to chatter until you stop the chatter. You got to learn how to turn the volume down on that computer, man. Anyway, that 1 to 100. This is the task you set your mind to, because that's a mental thing. Counting, counting is a mental thing. And anytime you want to calm yourself down, or separate yourself, or just send your mind somewhere because you're getting like upset or something, count. They used to say, when you get mad, count to 10. That's because what happens is you separate. Well, I don't know why that's because, but I know what happens is that you separate yourself from your mind. And your mind is the one that's upset. Yourself is rarely upset. This self ain't got no, what? The self ain't into all that new stuff that this earthbound They call it three-dimensional. It's more dimensions than three we function in. But hey, they just go by what somebody tell them and act like that's they listen. The cracker describes a box around us with their words and narratives, and then we live in them boxes. I'm telling you, you ain't gotta live in them boxes, them little narrative boxes they put you in. Like ain't nobody perfect. 'Cause that's some narrative they gave. Talking about, and God made, and that's a narrative they gave you, man. Look at the reality. Will show you right away. The creator is creating right now because new variants are always happening. Energy is constant, but it's form now. Forms are coming and going on the regular, baby. And that's creation. Forms coming and going on the regular. That's why they say we're in this 3D. That's forms coming and going on the regular. And we have input to that. Like, okay, this is what I want to also say. See here, because I told you before, I'm an advocate of our culture. This is the truth. I am an advocate of our culture. Part of our culture is herb. I know iboga. I have never had iboga, but I know that is one herb. I know datura, 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 datura. Sometimes it's called Jamestown weed because of the what occurred there in Jamestown in the U.S. with datura. Uh, and I know this thing they are referring to now as marijuana, mostly because of actually because of my father. My father was he smoked herb. All them old dudes smoked herb, man. Them dudes smoked herb in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Them dudes smoked herb. And then, of course, the European or whatever they are, they made herb illegal. They make our whole culture illegal. They make being you illegal. They make being just being. When you're born, you automatically are illegal in this paradigm. It's a paradigm. You can change it, get out of it. It's like the Matrix. That's not, Matrix is a paradigm. Another word for paradigm. Yeah, you're in the Matrix. Yeah, you're in the paradigm. The Matrix sounds so physical, though. The paradigm, you realize, is just a mental construct. The Matrix is a mental construct. It's not real either. That's funny. Okay, so look, see this? This is my paper. I make this paper. I'm gonna make some more today. I already got it processed. I'm making in batches because of the way I make it. So I make paper in batches, and I make paper from the ganja sticks and stem. I'll put the thing in there one day about the paper. It's 100% ganja, no hemp. I use straight ganja sticks and stems to make the paper. And that's what I do. I make paper. So what I want to do is let you know that when people say, because I always say, make something. See, this is the big thing. They have convinced us not to make anything, and therefore we are totally dependent. We don't make dinner. We go to KFC. We don't even make our dinner. We go to KFC. We don't make nothing else in the house. We get all that stuff from the Chinese. What are we producing? We're producing nothing. No, we are producing something. We are producing usable bodies. That's where our people are right now. I was asking the question, where are our people? We're on farms, and we are the farm animals. They're collecting our DNA. They're collecting our melanin, just like loin chops, chicken wings, and selling it. I saw it before, and I thought that was a big number. that 7,000 of our children go missing. Maybe it was 7,000. And I saw someone said it was 70,000. Either way, it's a seven is a lot in 1 year. Anything above seven is wartime numbers. And our children go missing in above wartime numbers. Our people are dying uh, in our neighborhoods at wartime numbers. At least those people in the wars know they're at war. They're defending themselves. We seem to not know that war is at us. We're not at war. We would be defending ourselves. War is at us. War is at us. Yeah, we're not at war. We should be at war. Because when you're at war, you strategize. You know you got that mental framework that you need to do certain things. We're not doing those things because we don't realize that we're at war. Oh, that's another thing. We've been tricked into this thing called knowledge. And I hear people know I'm a knowledgeable guy and I teach and I'm dropping bombs and fuck all them bombs and shit. And none of that shit matters. That's why you gotta learn that shit. Fuck that. The stuff I'm talking about, you ain't gotta go to no school. I went to SWU, graduated from SWU, Sidewalk University. The elders. Watch them drink themselves to death in depression and misery because they were so damn bright. I knew geniuses who became alcoholics, who became drug addicts. People say, oh, he's a drug addict. No, he ain't a drug addict. He became a drug addict. I hear people saying, oh, they brought 700 slaves from this place, and them people weren't slaves, they were people. Y'all letting your mind be direct. They write a damn narrative, draw a little circle around you, not even a circle, draw a little square around your ass, and you live in the square. Stop. Don't live in their square. Listen, there's another trick I learned for the mind. This one is good. I like this one. Because this one takes time. The first one I said 100, count to 100. You could do that you could do that now. Count to 100. Just count to 100. And your mind will separate from yourself. And you can see the two differently. Because something is telling your mind to count. That's you. Your mind is the one that's counting. You can't count. Your mind counts. You start counting, you'll be fucked up. That's something the mind do that kind of stuff for you. So you don't have to. You're on a different level than that mental garbage. Right? So check this out. The next thing, this is another trick. I told you got to trick the mind. You got to trick your mind so you can separate it from yourself so that you can know who start realizing, because this is the thing. You know your mind, but you have to realize yourself. This you cannot know. This you must realize. We can tell you that it exists, and that way, that's just saying, look over there, like I always do, just show you where to look, but you must realize it. I remember. This reminds me when I studied uh, Orisha. I studied Orisha formally. I had teachers and classes and everything. It was a big deal. And one day I said, I know, Orisha. Fortunately, I had teachers, not priests. This is the essence for me. You must realize. You must realize, Orisha, not just know it. It's not a mental thing. You must realize yourself. It's not a mental thing. You can't just know it. You can know it exists, okay, maybe. But what exists, you don't know. You have to realize it. The best way to realize it is what I just said. Tell your mind to count to 100 right away. That works so beautifully. That was the biggest. Now, this one I'm about to tell you works even deeper. This clears out the crevices, rounds out the corners, because shit hides in the corners when they give you these narratives, they give you in squares. And I see now triangles because those have corners. And those corners are vibrations that stay in those corners. Do you know in those corners, vibrations don't come out? Once they go in them corners, they're trapped in the corner because it's beating itself around in that little corner. That's what a lot of that got to do with what all these diseases like cancer is. Corner thinking, corner existence. So even over the temple of whatever they be talking about, I hear people talking about going to Egypt. I've never traveled there. I've never traveled to the continent of Africa. People say, why not? I don't have time for that. I don't need to. What am I going there for? Another place. I've been to places on earth. I'm good. I might go there, might not. Either way, I'm good. I got that. On a little island next to Japan where the Ryukyu Indian exists, it's called Okinawa. I went there, and the Ryukyu Indians took me and my family around. At that time, it consists of my family, my wife, my children, mother, my wife, the and three children, all of which were 5 and under. We went there, and the Ryukyu took me to see what they call my ancestors' burial sites. When I first got there, one of the Ryukyu maids, because I was in a like a hotel room type thing, a suite. I was in a suite, and she came to clean it, and she had her stuff, brought it in, and next thing I know, she was sobbing horribly on the floor. I thought it was some kind of game where they do this, something kind of drastic thing, and then kind of, because I just come from U.S. where people play games. What happened was I have altars. I still have altars. She recognized the altars. She said her grandmother had the same altars. Of the altars, she recognized Eshu. By name. She recognized Ogun by name. She called them names. I didn't give her no prompting. She called them names. Ruku. Rukyu. You wouldn't think they niggas. Because you've been fooled into this African thing. That's what I'm saying now. They're trying to get us into that so we don't mix with the other people and everybody's separate and fuck all that shit. They took me to the monument. It was a monument. Nigga's name was like Oniyi or something. All I need, something like that. And the burial site. Been there for hundreds of years. And black onyx. I think that the stone was black onyx. And I asked him why y'all do that black stone there. Was it because of it was a black guy? Because I'm trying to get to the depth of things. So I asked questions. And they said, no, it was because that stone was the stone that lasts. They knew that stone would last. It had nothing to do with the person's hue. And hue is not the first part of human. Okay, I've been on here an hour. I gotta go. That's too long. See you next time. One love. I'm out. Where you put stop at? Right here? Okay.